Once upon a time, in a cozy little village surrounded by green meadows and swaying trees, there lived a girl named Sarah. She had a heart full of kindness and a smile that could light up even the cloudiest day. One fine morning, as Sarah was wandering through the meadow, she came across an old, dusty jar tucked beneath a tree. Curiosity piqued. Sarah picked up the jar and read the faded label on its side, "A jar of happiness." Her eyes widened with wonder as she opened the lid, and a warm, radiant light filled the air. Inside the jar were colorful notes, each carrying heartwarming messages. With excitement bubbling inside her, Sarah carefully took out the first note. It read, "Help someone in need, and you will find happiness indeed." As Sarah read those words, she felt a tingling sensation of joy in her heart. This was no ordinary jar. It held the secrets to finding happiness in the world around her. Determined to share this newfound happiness, Sarah embarked on a journey to do good deeds for others. She helped her neighbors with their chores, offered kind words to those feeling down, and planted flowers to brighten the village. With each act of kindness, the jar seemed to glow even brighter. As word spread about Sarah's magical jar, more and more people from the village came to seek its happiness. They, too, embraced the idea of doing kind deeds and helping one another, and the village bloomed with joy. One day, a grumpy old man named Mr. Jenkins shuffled his way to Sarah, looking sad and troubled. He had lost hope and couldn't find happiness in anything. Sarah's eyes brimmed with compassion as she handed him the jar. Mr. Jenkins hesitated, but something in Sarah's smile urged him to give it a try. Carefully, he opened a note inside the jar and read, "To find happiness, forgive, and let go of the past." Those simple words struck a chord deep within his heart. Mr. Jenkins had been holding on to grudges for years, which had burdened his heart with bitterness. But now, he realized it was time to forgive and find peace. As he forgave others and himself, a sense of relief washed over him. A newfound happiness filled his heart, and tears of gratitude welled up in his eyes. He couldn't believe how a few words from a magical jar could change his outlook on life. From that day on, Mr. Jenkins became a changed man. He started doing kind deeds for others, just as Sarah had done for him. The villagers were astonished by his transformation and grew to love him dearly. As more people discovered the secrets in the jar of happiness, the village turned into a place of harmony and love. Sarah's simple act of kindness created a ripple effect of joy that spread far and wide. One evening, as the sun set over the village, Sarah gathered everyone in the meadow. She stood in front of the now glowing jar and said, "Happiness is not something we find. It's something we create for ourselves and others. Let's continue spreading happiness, one act of kindness at a time." The villagers cheered and thanked Sarah for sharing the gift of happiness with them. They all promised to keep the spirit of the jar of happiness alive forever. And so, in that small village, the magic of the jar of happiness lived on, reminding everyone that a simple act of kindness could bring immeasurable joy to the world and create a beautiful tapestry of happiness in the hearts of all who embraced it. The village became a shining example of love, unity, and the power of spreading happiness wherever one went. Sarah's jar became a symbol of hope, reminding everyone that happiness could be found in the simplest of gestures and the purest of hearts. And so, The tale of the jar of happiness became a cherished story passed down through generations, inspiring people to continue spreading love and kindness and to never underestimate the power of a single act of goodness.